narcissism. Arion neighborhood, aka B, narcissism, how it manifests 12. Okay, so in the Bible, two people, I give you two instances where people were, where they were pretty much genuine, you know what I'm saying? Abraham and Lot, they were genuine towards each other, maybe not good for each other, you know what I'm saying, for a certain time. And guess what they said? Abraham said, I go this way and you go this way. You know what I mean? Let bygones be bygones, you know what I'm saying? When I gave my life to the Lord, I told a couple of the homies I was close with. One of them didn't really like it, but he still said he said, okay, well, they called me A-Lo, go ahead and square up and get 2 jobs and woo-woo. But he didn't know I was giving my life to the Lord, and he didn't know the Lord. So, you know what I mean? If he really knew, he probably said, all right, well, but one homie said, you know what? I don't have a problem with that. I mean, if that's what you're going to do, my homie DB said, that's what it is. I haven't talked to him since. But pretty much that was me and Abraham, that was Abraham and Lot. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do the Lord's will. I'm not saying they wasn't doing the Lord's will. My homie DB wasn't. But he just said, all right, well, Alo, that's what it is then. You know what I mean? I'll holler at you, I'll see you whenever I see you or whatever, if I ever see you again. But, you know what I'm saying? It was, all right, you go that way and I'm going to go this way. And there was nothing else from that relationship. There was no, I didn't go smear his name. He didn't go smear my name. I know he still respects me to this day, and it's vice versa. And so that, I'm giving you an example, and that's personal, but that's Abraham and Lot, or Paul and Peter. Okay, we don't really agree right now. Peter, you go that way, and I'm going to go this way to the Damascus and the Thessalonians and Ephesians and stuff like that. And you get what I'm saying? And it was them, Peter and Paul, not seeing eye to eye, Abraham and Lot not seeing eye to eye, not based on anything personal, you know what I'm saying, or some manipulation tactic or supply, you know what I'm saying, and they went their opposite way. You get what I'm saying, even if it's for a little bit, you know what I mean? But a narcissist always want to hang on to you, but they don't want to give you what you're giving them. They're going to always want you to overextend. You know what I'm saying? Because their goal is manipulation and supply. So someone that is disingenuous will always try to speed you up. Will always try to have you performing while they give you very little. You get what I'm saying? And so if you got empathic traits and you're a godly man, godly woman, they like to drain us, calling us with problems, having us pray for them and all this and that. Man, ask them, have you developed a prayer life yet? You know what I'm saying? You need to learn to pray for your dang self. I don't want to hear all your problems all the time. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because 9 times out of 10, we don't. If we bring our problems to them, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them are gonna be nowhere to be found. You get what I'm saying?